Now, let's get started with the data profiling task. We have already discussed that profiling is the first step in a data quality process, and it needs to understand the data, to understand the structure and content of data. So when you profile the data, you would be able to understand how much percentage of the data contains null value, whether the data contains a distinct value for a given column or not, whether there are any patterns in the data, whether there are any value frequency outliers. So all these details, all these metrics will be available in the data profiling task. So to say in a single statement, it is used to understand the completeness and consistency of the data in the data sources. So after we run a profile, we'll be able to compare profiles, compare the historical profile and the latest profile. So using this, you will be able to understand if your data quality process improved over time or not. You could also compare multiple columns in a profile. Let's say if you have a profile, if you have column A and column B in a profile, and if you want to compare the metrics of both of them, whether which column contains more null data and which column contains distinct data. So you could compare multiple profile columns also as part of the profile run. Now let's take an example wherein you have a column which contains bad data, which contains invalid data, and your business or analysts are looking at improving that data. So in order to identify the records that contain the bad data, you could actually drill down based on the value or data type and see the records that contain the invalid value and take necessary action. So that analysis is also possible using data profiling. And finally, you could export the profile results in a Microsoft Excel file and then share the same with the business. So these are the tasks that you could do using a data profiling task. Now let's see the metrics that are available after we run the data profiling task. So you will be able to see the null, distinct and non-distinct values. So it will be available not just in the form of percentage values, but also the number of records that contain null, distinct and non-distinct values. For numeric data types, you will have the option to view the average, sum and standard deviation. And we also have option to view the minimum and maximum value. So let's say for a numeric column like salary, if we would want to know what's the minimum and maximum salary, profiling would give us the result. Additionally, we have minimum and maximum length details as well available for each column. Along with that, we also have documented data types, inferred data types, and one interesting feature which is value frequency outlier. Now let's see in the demo of data profiling task what are the different metrics that are available. So once you log in to IICS, you will be able to see this application. So this is the data profiling.
Hey, Sharmila, I think we are not seeing the demo screen. We are still seeing your presentation. I think you need to share your demo screen.
Okay. Okay. Pachari, yes, how about now?
Okay. Yes, we are able to see. Thank you.
Okay, so after you log into IICS, you would be able to view the screen here. So to create a data profiling task, you would have to click on data profiling. and you would have to select new and select the data profiling task. I have already created a profile here. So when you create a data profiling task, you would have to give the name, description, and the location. So the location here means in which project or in which folder it is present. Along with that, you would be able to see you would have to provide the connection details, the source connection and the source object. So currently, profile task is supported for flat files, Oracle, SQL Server, and ODBC files. So once you select the required object, you could run the profile on either all the rows or select say first 100 records. So that option is possible here. And then you have option to drill down as well. Additionally, you could select the columns on which you would want to run the data profile. You also have option to include additional filters here. And if you want to view the data, preview the data, this is where you would be able to preview the data. So these are the details that you would have to provide while you create a profile task. So once you create, you would be able to run the task using this run button. So I have already run this task and I have the results here. So this is the summary page. Yeah. So this is the summary page that you would be able to see when you run a profile task. So this page is rich with information that would be helpful for you to implement the business rules going forward. So if you see to the uh, top top view of the page, you would know which run is this, how many columns are present, how many rows are present, and here you would be able to see the view. So when you see the color distribution here, we have for each column. So these are the 26 columns, and for each of the columns, we have red, blue, and black color combination. So here, if I select this country field, the red attribute relates to the null data. How much percentage of the data contains null value in this country column. So here it is 18%, constituting to 400 records. And the blue part signifies the distinct value, how much percentage of the data contains distinct data, and the black one contains the non-distinct data. Additionally, if you see to the right, we have details here. So we have trend details, whether the trend of the profile has improved or not, trend of the null, distinct, and non-distinct values. We also have documented and inferred data types. So if you see, end string 255 was the documented data type for this flat file CSV source data. But when the profile ran, these are the inferred data types. So let me just take an example here for an ID field. So the documented data type was string. However, the info data type, since it contained integer value, so it's numeric value, so it's integer, decimal, or and 100% of the data complies or is compatible with this data type. And we also have patterns available. So we have numeric digits, 4-digit numbers constitutes 60% of the data, and 3-digit numbers constitute 36% of the data. And we have few other patterns which constitutes 3.8%. So this is where you would be able to see that the ID field has 3 patterns, and these are the 3 patterns that are available. And the percentage of top pattern is 60%, which is available here. And along with that, we also have max length, min length, and max value, min value fields as well, that we discussed in this slide. Now coming to one of the coolest features, that is the drill down. In case if you would want to filter or preview the data, let's say preview three-digit ID data, you could probably select it here, and you have the filter condition available here. And in case if you want to have country or country filter as well, if the country contains USA or not, you could additionally add the filter here. You could also define rules in profile and also schedule the profile. So in case if you want to schedule it to run as per a particular schedule, you would have to mention the runtime environment or the secure agent details as well as the schedule details. You could additionally send email notifications, be it for failure, warning, or success email notifications, and the advanced options can also be configured. So coming back to the summary page, in case if you want to drill down on a particular column, let's say country, you could just click on country, and you would be able to view the value frequency chart here. So country has 6 distinct values with 4 non-unique and 2 unique values. And if you would want to see the percentage distribution, that's here. So this way you would be able to review the required data by applying the filters here and then taking an Excel. So we discussed that you would be able to export the profile in an Excel file that would be available here. In case if you want to compare profiles, that is compare the historical and latest profile, you would be able to compare profile runs here. And for comparing columns, you would be able to compare the columns. Okay, so this is on the profile task. Now let's move back to our slides. So now we have completed the data profiling task. Next we will go ahead with the data quality assessment, that is rule specification, dictionary, cleanse, and verifier. We'll get started with the dictionary. So dictionary is a data object, or I should say a reference data object that is used to enhance or enrich the data accuracy. It is used as part of the rule specifications. So along with rule specifications, dictionaries are used to standardize the data and have one single value when the incoming source data has various variations. Let's just see how to create a data dictionary. So data dictionary is available in the data quality service here. That's the second service here. And when you click on data quality and click on new, you would be able to create a dictionary here. So here I have already created a dictionary for country. So when you create a new dictionary, you would have option to provide the name, location, that's the project and folder details. Along with that, you would be able to provide the configuration. So here, if you see this data, this is country data, and for a given country USA, my source data, if it has multiple variations like America, U.S.A instead of USA or United States, and if the business wants to standardize on a particular column, that particular value, then you could do it using dictionary. So the leftmost column is by default considered as the valid column. So if your incoming data has America, it will be replaced with USA. If your incoming data has IN, it will be replaced with IND, and so on and so forth. We also have various options available here in case if you want to import the dictionary from a file, in case if you want to manually add a row. And we also have options to sort it and filter it as well. Later, we will see how to use dictionaries in rule specifications and how rule specifications can be used in mappings. So moving back to the slides, next we will cover the rule specification. So rule specification is a data quality asset primarily used by the business users and as well as the technical folks if you want to implement a business rule. So rule specification can be used to standardize the project data values, like we just saw. In case if you want to standardize the valid values of USA instead of America or United States, you could use a rule specification. You could also use it to improve the accuracy of business data. So let's just see how to create a rule specification here. So I have created a rule specification. Again, it is available in the data quality service. And if you want to create a rule specification, you would want to click on this new and rule specification. So let's see the different configurations that are available. So in order to create a rule specification, you have options to create primary rule set. So this is the primary rule set, and it is followed by child rule set. So this is the parent one and these are the child. So this rule set that I have created is based on the logic that whenever the status field contains live data, or whenever the country contains USA, that is the standardized data, then it's a valid customer. So for this, we have already seen the dictionary country, which we had created earlier. We also have a dictionary status that I have created. So I could have a live and a non-live as the valid data values, and active, inactive, or pending as the non-standardized values. So my business requirement is to replace active with live and so on. So whenever the status contains live and the country contains USA, then it's a valid customer. So for this, in my child rule set, I have the input as status, and the inputs can be managed here. You have option to manage inputs. So I have input as country code and status. And this is where I specify the logic for this rule set. So if my status is not null, then I replace it with the dictionary values. So I replace it with the valid dictionary values, that is live or non-live. Else, I would replace it with a space. Similarly, for the child rule set for the country, I have the input as the country code, and in the rule logic, I have implemented that if the country code is not null, then I will replace it with valid values from the dictionary. And in my parent rule set, I have set the I'm just verifying whether it contains valid country and valid status. Then the customer status is valid, else it is invalid. So now you can see that how we can achieve different business rules using this rule specification. And finally, we will also see how these rule specifications can be embedded in a mapping. Moving back to our slides, next we will see cleanse. We have already seen rule specification and dictionary. Next we will see cleanse asset here. So cleanse assert is for standardizing the data, seeing that we have complete data, consistent data, and also to make sure that we have noise removed. If we want to replace values or certain values, or remove custom values or from dictionaries, we could do that. So this cleansing option is also possible. Also, this cleanse assert basically drills down to the use case of a case converter transformation and the standardizer transformation. So using case converter, you would be actually able to convert the case from lowercase to uppercase or sentence case. And using standardizer options, you would be able to replace custom text or remove dictionary table matches and so on. To understand more about the cleanse assert, we could quickly move to the demo. So cleanse assert is again present in the data quality service, and to create a cleanse assert, you would have to click on cleanse. And when you click on new, you would be able to see these options to give a valid name and description, and give the valid location. In the configuration step, you have option to add different steps here. So here I have option to add a case converter, which converts the case, and also to remove or replace certain values. We can also remove redundant spaces from the incoming data. So here I have used a case converter, that is convert case here, and I have selected the casing style as title. I have also added another step for removing the spaces. So I could have a step to remove leading and trailing spaces, as well as multiple spaces in the data. Along with this, you would also be able to test it. So in case if you have implemented multiple steps and you want to test it, rather than creating a dummy mapping and running it, you could test it here. So you could provide the input here, select the valid runtime environment, and then click on run test. You would be able to view the output. So this is what a cleanse assert is all about. Later we will see how to use a cleanse assert in our mapping. Now let's finally see a verifier assert. So we have seen rule specification, dictionary, and cleanse till now. Now we'll see what a verifier assert is. So in cloud data quality, we have the capability of address verification using the verifier assert. So you could not only standardize and format the address, but you could also enrich it. You could correct the address, and we have address. We would be able to correct addresses for about 240 plus countries, and enrich for 200 plus countries. So we have a wide range. We have many customers availing this option. And apart from formatting the addresses, you would be able to get the status codes, get the match probability on how good your address verification is. To understand more about the address verifier, you could move let's move on to this demo here. So in order to create an address verifier, you would want to click on new and select verifier here. I have already created a verifier assert. So in order to create that, you would have to give the name, description, location. In the configuration, you would have to provide the input model. So we have three options here: discrete, hybrid, and multi-line. So when your incoming source data contains address address data in multiple fields. So you could have a separate field for postal code, you could have a separate field for locality, you could have a separate field for country. So when that's the case, then it's you would have to select discrete. In certain scenarios, you would also have multi-line options available, wherein you would have the incoming source data in multiple lines rather than discrete fields. So in that case, you would select multi-line, but here I would select hybrid. Hybrid means it's a mix of both discrete and multi-line. So if you see here, I have selected few inputs as per my requirement, and these are the outputs that my business wants. So you could select the locality details, you could select the country details. You could also enrich the data using geocoding. So I would want to enrich using latitude and longitude. So yes, that is also possible. Additionally, we also would want to see if our match percentage is good or not, if our status code is the right one or not, how good our address verification is performing. We would want to have a note on that as well. So that's achieved using status codes. So this is on the verifier asset. So now we have seen how to profile our incoming source data, how to create different assets using these 4 assets in the data quality service. Next, we will see how to use these assets in a mapping. So let me just show you the source data. So this is my source data. So this is a customer data wherein I have ID details, order number, order date. So if you see the date formats are not correct, few of the dates are invalid, few of the date formats, if you see the formats are incorrect. We also have few missing data, and few email addresses are not valid. So you would be able to see that as well. Phone numbers are not standardized. So these are typical data quality issues. And this is the country data, country field where you have non-standardized data, where you have United States, U.S.A, America, and so on. And this is the status field where you have live, non-live, and you have active, inactive. So this is my incoming data. And here I have created a mapping using the assets that we have discussed earlier. So in order to use a rule specification and the different assets, I just have to drag and drop the cleanse asset, the rule specification asset, and this is the rule specification transformation here. So I just drag drop the transformation, and finally the verifier transformation. So in the rule specification transformation, I have option to select the rule specification, which rule specification that we have created in the data quality service. And this is the field mapping. So here I'm mapping my input fields in a rule specification with the incoming source data. So I have mapped country code with country and status with the incoming status field. Next, in the output fields, these are the fields that were generated by the rule specification. In a cleanse transformation, I have option to select the cleanse asset that we created in the data quality service, and then we have to map the incoming source data with the input of the cleanse asset. So I have mapped the company name here, and this is the output of the cleanse asset, that is the company name, the converted or the improved company. And finally, with the verifier transformation, I'll be able to mention the verifier assert that I would want to use and the field mapping. So here, if you observe our source data, we have certain address fields like shipping street, shipping city, and country, and so on and so forth. So we map the incoming fields with the fields that are required by the verifier assert. And these are the output fields often of the verified transformation. So if you see, it is enriched with latitude and longitude along with the match percentage. So once you run the mapping, you would be able to see the addresses correctly formatted and and enhanced and enriched with geocode information. So now we have seen how our Informatica CDQ, that's the cloud data quality, will help you to discover the data using profiling, define the rules using rule specification, apply the rules in a mapping. So rules could also be done, defined using the different assets like rule specification, verifier, and cleanse assert. And then you could monitor the data by profiling it after the rules have been implemented. So this is a continuous data quality process, and we've just seen how to implement that using our cloud DQ product. Now we can have the Q&A.
Sharmila, thank you so much. That was a very insightful presentation. There have been quite a few questions that have come through on the chat. We have tried to answer most of them, but I think there are a few questions which might need your inputs as well. I think there was a question around I think the question was, is the dictionary implemented as database table object or file object, or is it implemented as both?
So currently it is available as a file object. So you could import the dictionary from a flat file, or you could manually add it by configuring the dictionary in CD.
Thank you. There's another question on similar lines. Can a dictionary be used with publication tasks in CIH?
Okay, so currently we do not have that integration available. So the dictionaries cannot be used with CIH assets.
And one more question. What databases does it connect to? Is there still a 10 MB cap for analysts?
Databases for dictionary?
I believe okay. I don't know what are the context of the question. I think this was a question by a customer called Richard. What databases does it connect to? Maybe we can move on to the next question probably. Is there a filter on profiling applied to profile results, or can it be applied to source object?
So we do have a filter option in the profile if you would want to filter based on a particular condition, or we also have option to select the columns. Let's say if we have 26 columns and we would just want to profile on the main important 5 columns, yes, that is also possible.
Thank you. Okay, there are questions where they're asking, is this being recorded? Yes, this webinar session is being recorded, and this will be available at a later point of time. We will be sending you all an email with the recording link. There's another question from one Mr. Vijay. Can we have complex rules in rule specifications like lookups over reference tables?
Okay. So lookup over reference table. If you see, we are actually using a reference table as a dictionary, and we are doing a lookup. So if you recall the country example, we were checking if the value is present in the dictionary or not. If it is present, then the non-standardized value would be replaced with the valid value.
Okay. I think there is another question. I think a lot of folks ask this question. What is the difference between Enterprise IDQ, that's the on-prem Informatica data quality, and the Informatica data quality cloud? I think it's not a very straightforward answer, right? I mean, obviously there are things that if it's Enterprise IDQ, you have to install everything, set up and configure all the complete installation, whereas in cloud it's hosted and everything is up and running for you, right? And there might be a few things that might not be supported as part of the cloud data quality. So I think what we will do is we will reach out to you, or you can reach out to your CSM if you know who your CSM is. You can reach out to them with more specifications. Otherwise, we will anyway follow up with an email. I think this is from Chetan. We will reach out to you with all the specifics so that we can, you can get more clarity on this. There's another question, Sharmila. Can I integrate cloud quality rules with my current data integration tasks and mapping? I think we already answered this, right? It's not available at this point of time.
Yeah, so in mapping, we can integrate the rule specifications that we have created, but not in any other tasks.
Can a dictionary be used in a place of a lookup?
Okay, so a dictionary serves a different purpose and a lookup serves a different purpose. So the advantage of dictionary is that you are standardizing the data. In case if you, though all are valid data, but in case if your business requirement is to standardize on a one particular data instead of having multiple variations, you could use a dictionary. However, for a lookup, if you have just two columns, one as an ID field and another as a salary field, so lookup serves a different purpose and the dictionary serves a different purpose, and both are right and both add value in their own space. I hope that answers this.
Thank you, Sharmila. Henry, we will send you the link. I think the PAM document is available as part of it. Should start downloading the PAM document when you click on that link. I will get back to you with the details. I think that's pretty much all the questions that we have got, Sharmila. We will, thanks everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar. It was, I'm sure, a lot of questions were answered and you found it very insightful. And obviously, we had a good time hosting this for you guys. We look forward for all your feedback and suggestions on what else could we improve upon, what are the topics you would like to hear. But thanks everyone. Hope you guys have a wonderful day ahead, and and the rest of the day. Thank you guys. A wrap from us.